and welcome to the fourth webinar in our Google webinar series for travel agents. Today we're looking at how to show your ads on Google, and I'm joined by Google Account Manager Lakshmi.
Hello.
Good morning. Again, today's webinar will probably go for around 45 minutes, which leaves us time to answer any questions that you might have. The session will be recorded and it will be uploaded onto the AFTA website so that you can view it at a later date to refresh your memory or even share it with colleagues. You are all on mute, but you do have a small question and answer toolbox that you can ask questions in, and we'll do our best to answer those questions at the end of the presentation. You'll also be sent a survey at the end, and would really love you to complete that survey, and that just gives us some insight into what you thought of today's webinar and any ways that we might be able to improve or even topics that you'd like us to address in the future. So without further ado, I'm going to pass you over to Lakshmi, who will take it away.
Awesome. Thank you, Jo. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining this series. As Jo mentioned, today's session would be focused on Google Ad Platform. So what are the different platforms that we have on Google, and how could you utilize these platforms to be available online for your customers? Please note that this session has been designed to give you a brief overview. So if you would like an in-depth session on any one of these platforms, please feel free to add them in the survey form. So let's start off with where Google Ads show. I'm sure you're already aware of this, but let's quickly go through this. Google Ads show on google.com, on our partner sites like ask.com, aol.com. They also show on other Google properties like Google Maps. And these ads would show when our customers proactively search for our products or services. So let's say in the example you see I search for Bali deals, it will show me all the results related to Bali deals. Or they could also show up when our customers are not searching proactively, but they are browsing the internet. They are reading articles, reviews, watching videos. So these form part of Google Display Network or YouTube. We'll discuss about these platforms in detail. So let's deep dive into the search platform now, and we will start off with the anatomy of a search page. So I did a quick search for NZ holiday package, and as you can see on the screen, these are the results. The ones at the top, which are highlighted in red, they are the ads. And the ones which are highlighted in green, they are the organic results. We generally have maximum of 4 ads in the top slot and 3 ads at the bottom slot. So as a user, I'm sure you guys are aware, we are more inclined to click on the results which appear on the top. So it may not always be possible to have your business on top of organic listing, but with ads, we could increase the visibility for your business. So what do we need to show our ads on Google search? First and foremost, we need to know what our customers are searching for. What are the terms they are using? Let's say Bali deals, vacation packages, Bali holidays. Tools such as Keyword Planner, which we had discussed in our previous session, will help you get an idea of these terms and will give you more relevant suggestions as well. And then we need ads. So ads are nothing but phrases which highlight the unique selling points about your business and of course your website. And then we have bids and budget, which will be the cost of your ads. So as we discussed, keywords are the phrases that you bid on, and these are the terms for which you would want to show your ads. So on the screen, on the right-hand side, you will see some suggestions for Gold Coast hotels. So when I search for Gold Coast hotels in the Keyword Planner tool, it not only gives me other suggestions, it also tells me how popular that term is. So let's say Gold Coast accommodation, it has 27,000 average monthly searches. So So this is a relevant term for you if you have hotels in Gold Coast, and you can see that it's a popular term as well. It also tells you what is the bid you might need to win the auction. And once you have the keywords, bids, and budget, so that's when you are eligible to enter the auction for Google search results. Now let's have a quick look at the ad structure. A typical ad would have a headline, a website URL, and description line, which tells users about, okay, what is your business about, what are the deals, and which website they would land after they click on the ad. But then there is some additional information as well, as you can see on this ad at the bottom. These are called ad extensions. This is a free feature, but this helps you add more information about your business. Let's say, what are the different deals available? Or what are the other unique selling points which did not fit in the ad earlier? Let's say 100% satisfaction, 70% off. You could also add your phone number. You could also add your store address. So all of these information will give more information to the user, to your customer, and increase the visibility of your ad, and hence improve the click-through rate of your ads to your website. So have you guys also noticed any change in the ads now? There has been an increase in the character space by about 50%. So if you look towards the ad on the left-hand side, so that's a very tiny ad which used to appear about a quarter ago. But now we have introduced a new format called expanded text ads, which is almost double the size of the previous ad. So in the audience, if you guys have an AdWords account, and if you haven't used the expanded text ads yet, I would recommend doing that ASAP, because most of our clients have seen amazing performance with these expanded text ads. We have seen the click-through rate boost by about 20% by just changing these ads. So there are a lot of extensions that we have, but then we will discuss the most popular ones, some of the common ones used by advertisers. The first one is site links. So in the image on the right-hand side, you see the links for hotel deals, immediate booking, deals, and offers. So let's say as a user, if I'm searching for Hotel Columbia, your ad appears. But more than what's in the ad, I'm interested in special deals and offers. So what you could do as a business is, instead of taking me to the Hotels Columbia homepage, you could directly take me to the special deals and offers page. So this shortens the conversion process. So instead of me landing on the main page and then looking for deals and offers on the website, I get the option to directly land on the deals and offers page. So what will happen is that this will increase your engagement with the audience, and this will also increase your conversions, so which could be sign-ups or purchases. The next most common extension that we use is called location extensions. So as you can see in the picture, the ad also has the option to show the address of your store. So first, it will add credibility if you have your store information along with the ad. Second, if I am somewhere near your store, you could drive me to your store for purchase, or maybe to inquire about some packages as well. So, and then it also shows the phone number, it shows the opening hours, and when I click on the map option, it will show me the direction as well. And location extension is not available for everyone. You need to have another account called Google My Business. So just imagine an Excel file which has all the information about your business, your address, phone number, opening hours. So all of this will be housed in your Google My Business account. And when you link your Google My Business account to AdWords account, that's when these location information starts popping along with the ads. And we have seen that the click-through rate of an ad when they have location extensions, they increase by about 10%. The other most important extension which might be relevant for you guys, so if you would want to encourage your customers to call you and inquire about the packages, inquire about the quote, would be to give them an option to call directly from the ad. So your ad will appear as normal, but when they appear on mobile devices, you will see a small call button towards the right-hand side. When a user clicks on that button, they would reach your business phone number. But the price will still remain the same. The amount that you would pay for a click on the ad is the same as the amount that you would pay for that call. And I think it's one of the most important features that I have seen, because instead of requesting a quote, if a potential client happens to call you, you have more opportunity to convince them, upsell and cross-sell as well. And from my experience, so there have been quite a few businesses where 40% of their business comes from mobile devices, and they have used this feature extensively. So the best part about AdWords is that you pay only when users click on your ad. So let's say if your ad appears and if I don't click on your ad, you still do not pay for that. It's just a free impression, it's just a free awareness for your ad, but you pay only when someone clicks on your ad and goes to your website. So just to quickly summarize the whole process, let's say if you're interested to show your ads on Google, what does the step look like? So you choose the terms that you want to bid on. You bid on those keywords. Users, they search using those terms on Google, and then there is an auction which runs in the background. Your ad, if it wins the auction, will appear in the search results. And when it appears, a user clicks on the ad, goes to your website, and you pay Google for the click based on the amount that you have bid. So I hope this makes the process a bit clear for you. So we will discuss about the auction a bit more now. So now, so the first thing that I want to talk about is why do we have this auction in place? Google users want to see relevant ads. They don't want to be bothered by ads that are not relevant to what they are searching for. And advertisers want to show relevant ads so that users can click on those ads and get more business. Meanwhile, Google wants to provide a good experience for users and a good value to advertisers so that they come back and use our services again in future. Hence, Google uses this auction to rank the ads that appear on the search results. So in simple terms, ad rank is nothing, but it is a number which determines whether you are eligible to show your ad on google.com or not. If yes, which position would you appear on? So in a traditional auction, ideally what happens is, let's say if you have user A and user B. If user A is bidding, let's say, $4, user B is bidding $3. So user A obviously wins because it's bidding high. But in case of Google auction, it's not only the bid which matters. So there is something called ad quality as well. Ad quality, which is measured by a score called quality score, which we'll discuss more in details. So just keep in mind that if you have to show your ads on Google, there are two things. One is your bid and the other one is ad quality. So maximum CPC, that is cost per click, is nothing but that's the amount you are willing to pay for your ad, and this is under your control. So you can choose to bid $1, $2, $5. But for quality score, there are several factors which we need to consider. So the first factor is the expected click-through rate. So let's say you chose to bid on keywords like Bali holiday. So what the Google system does is that it tries to predict if your ad would get a click or not based on the previous history. So this is just a prediction of how often your ad will be clicked when it is shown. So it just tries to measure if your ad shows whether users will click or not. Second is ad relevance. So if user is searching for Bali holidays and if your ad talks about Sydney accommodation, it's a big mismatch. So it tries to see what the users are searching for and what you have in your ads as well. Third is the landing page quality. So how relevant is your landing page to the user's query? So in the same example, if someone is searching for, let's say, Bali holiday, and you take them to a page which talks about Sydney hotels, that's not a relevant page. So your quality score will be lower in that case. And lastly, the ad formats. So the different formats or extensions that we have, let's say site links, location extensions, call extensions. So all these extra extensions that we have discussed, they improve your click-through rate and hence increase the quality score of your ad. So let's say if we have two advertisers who are bidding the same amount, $4, but advertiser B has higher quality score, let's say 9, whereas advertiser A has quality score which is 6. Then in that case, advertiser B, even though he is bidding lower, he is more likely to win the auction and show the ads. So the main takeaway from here is that it's not just the bid which controls the auction. So there is opportunity for all advertisers, big or small, as long as the quality of the ad is good, as long as we can keep the user experience good. So that was about search. And so just to do a quick recap on search, search platform is generally used so when your goal is direct response. So let's say you would want users to click on the ad and perform a certain action. Let's say sign up or request a code or purchase tickets. So when you're limited by budget and you really want users to perform these actions, then in that case, I would go for search platform. Now let's move on to display. We have all spoken so much about search, but what percentage of time do we spend on search versus browsing content online? Do you guys want to take a guess? Surprising, isn't it? 95% of the time spent online is outside search. There are millions of such websites where your customers are. So they are reading articles, reviews, testimonials. So the next logical step would be to be available on these websites where your customers are. So imagine if you had to reach out to each of these website owners to show your ads. You wouldn't have time to do any business. So what Google has done is partnered with these websites and grouped them under a network called Google Display Network. So when you reach out to Google and say, I want to target Google Display Network, this means that your ads would show across these millions of websites. So just to give you an overview of the size of Google Display Network, we reach around 90% of global internet users, and ads are served across 2 million plus websites. So there's a lot of opportunity. And if we talk about the ad format, we can have the regular text ad format that you can see on the screen on the left-hand side, or we can have the image banner ads as well, as we can see for booking.com on the right-hand side. So just sharing a few other formats. There are different sizes available, which you can show on different websites. But the most popular ones are the one at the bottom, 300 by 250, which is an inline rectangle, and it can appear on the top, bottom, and side of any web page. The other one is the wide skyscraper, which you see on the right, 160 by 600, and this ad appears on the left or right-hand side of a page. So if you target Google Display Network and if you do not have resources to create ads in different sizes, then definitely go for the three most popular ones, which is the inline rectangle, wide skyscraper, and leaderboard. Now, so as I mentioned, we have access to millions of websites, but we definitely do not want to show our ads across these millions of websites to anyone. So we would want to be as targeted as possible. So what are the different ways that we can target this huge network? So one of the most common options is the keyword targeting. So the way you saw in the search platform earlier, we use keywords to target users. It's the same way of targeting in display as well. So you specify keywords to the system, and based on that, your ad would show. But it works slightly different. So I'll just explain with an example here. So just to make it easier, because we have the picture of a camera over there, let's say you sell cameras. And you would want to show your ads on pages which is about cameras, photography, travel tips, etc. So you create a campaign which has these terms: photography, travel tips, cameras. What the Google system does is it picks these keywords from your campaigns, scans through these millions of websites which have these terms, and whichever is relevant, it tries to show the ad. So the other easy way to target this network is through audience. Let's say, as a user, I have been browsing a lot of travel-related websites in the past. What Google system does it categorizes me under travel buffs. If I have been browsing a lot of fashion-related web pages, fashion-related content online, then in that case, it identifies me as a fashion-forward audience. So this is all based on my past browsing behavior. And all of these audiences are housed in the AdWords system. So let's say if you would want to target travel buffs, then in that case, you don't even need a keyword. You just need to go to the system and select travel buffs. And all the users who have shown interest in travel buffs, travel-related content in the past will see your ads. It's very simple. It's vast. We have around 80 plus segments available in the affinity category. We also have the option to target demographic based on gender, age, and parental status. So let's say as a business, you have a plan to target only female audiences within the age group of 25 to 34. So you could choose to do that as well. Or you could layer this with the other forms of targeting that we discussed earlier. So let's say we discussed about affinity. So what I can do is that I can target all female audiences in the age range of 25 to 34, but these only those female audiences who are travel buffs. So you could just target the demographic, or you could layer it with other options available. In terms of bidding, the way we pay per click, we have the same option on Display Network. If someone clicks on your text ad or clicks on your banner ad, that's when you are charged. but you have an additional option to pay per impressions as well. So impression is when your ad shows up. So even if a user doesn't click on your ad, you would still be charged. So now the next question might be, when should I use CPC and when should I use CPM? If your goal is to generate brand awareness, so let's say you would want people to just hear about the amazing deal that you have, then in that, you don't care whether they come to your website or not. In that case, we go for impression-based bidding. But let's say you have the same deal, but your goal is to have the users come to your website and purchase tickets or make bookings, then in that case, we go for cost per click model. So just to do a quick recap, on display network, you can show both text ads and banner ads. You have access to millions of websites, but you can go as niche as possible by using the different targeting options. And if I just think about the consumer funnel, if you would want to increase reach or influence consideration or spread your message across to a larger set of audience, that's when I would go for display network. So these audiences would be slightly higher up in the consumer funnel who may not be ready to purchase or book a ticket right away, but whenever they are planning, since they have already seen your ad or visited your landing page through this network, they might consider you in future. Remarketing. We have discussed this in our previous series. In travel industry, there is a lot of research involved. When I plan a trip, I ensure that I have all the information and the best deals available. And same is the case with other customers as well. So one visit to your business may not be enough to convince them. So that's when remarketing comes into picture. So some shocking stats here. What we see is that 96% of customers, they leave a website without converting. And almost 50%, they typically visit about 2 to 4 sites before purchasing. So hence it's crucial to connect with users using the remarketing tool. And these are high potential clients because they have shown the interest in your products and services by visiting your website earlier. And that's why you will see that other businesses, they are taking huge advantage of this. And you must have experienced this yourself as well. Let's say if you go to booking.com website and if you don't complete any transaction, you will see their ad wherever you go. To set up remarketing, it's pretty simple. It's done through a small piece of code, which is generated by AdWords. All you need to do is place that piece of code on your website. Whenever user visits your website, there'll be a small cookie placed on the browser, and that's when the Google remarketing system detects the user, has the user information, and you could show more relevant information later. For travel industry, so there's an advanced option as well, where you can show very specific ads. So let's say I was looking for flights from New York to SF. You as a business, when you remarket to me, you can show me the prices or the deals for this particular flight, which originates from New York, ends in SF, instead of a generic deals ad. And how this works is through business feeds. So again, this will be a jargon for you. So business feed is nothing, just imagine an Excel file which has all the information about your business, the origin of the flight, the destination, description, price. So all of these information will be housed in the feed, and then the Google system interacts with this feed to show the most relevant ad to a user. So remarketing, again, if I have to link it back to your business goal and the purchase funnel, so they will target users in the lower section of the funnel. So among all the platforms, if you haven't tested AdWords earlier, search, platform, and remarketing, so they target the audience if you're focused on direct response. Gmail ads. Okay, so why email? So 86% of people, they globally use email, and this is a place where people keep coming back to check for personal information. So what if we could deliver relevant content in the inbox? So this could be an opportunity to drive awareness, influence purchase decisions, consideration, etc. So we'll see about the format more in details now. So you must have noticed these ads before in your inbox. So it sits under the promotions tab, and you would generally see 2 ads under the promotions tab. And the ad that you see on the screen, that's called the teaser ad. When someone clicks on this ad, it expands and occupies the entire inbox. So you have 100% share of voice. And the formats that you have available is amazing. So you can have a simple banner ad with a call to action for sign up, the way you see it in the screen. You can have a video, you can have a form fill up as well. So if your goal is so whatever your goal is, whether it's branding and awareness, or getting traffic to the website, or just engaging with the users through the video, so this platform works really well. And I've seen this work really well for lead generation kind of clients. So talking about targeting a bit, it's almost similar to what we saw in the display targeting. You have the option to use keywords, affinity, gender, age. But the most interesting form of targeting is the domain targeting. So domain targeting, so you can direct your targeting based on emails from specific websites. So let's say if I have been getting emails from booking.com, you can choose to target this particular domain, booking.com or expedia.com. So what the system does is that it scans or it tries to check the subject or the body of the message for the last few hundred emails and tries to see if it makes sense to show your ad to me or not. So let's say if you would want to share any deals regarding hotels, and I have been receiving quite a few emails from booking.com or Expedia, then in that case I might be a relevant customer for you, and that's when the system will show your ad as a teaser in my promotions box. So that was about Gmail ads. Gmail ads, like I mentioned, just to do a quick recap, you could use it to target users across the funnel. It could be awareness. It could be influencing consideration as well. So moving on to my favorite platform, which is YouTube. Not because it is the second largest search engine, but because of its ability to engage the audience. So YouTube originally was a platform to share videos with people, but over the years, it has grown into an extremely powerful tool. It's an essential tool for any business, big or small, to reach a large number of people. So if we look at some of the data that we received from Nielsen, we see that YouTube reaches 15 million users in Australia. And the average watch time is around 9 hours per month per person. Personally, for me, I think it would be easily 15 to 20 hours in a month. And no surprise that the watch time is growing faster than it has in years. The hours watched, they are up 60% year over year. And what's interesting is that the audience the YouTube audience is not skewed towards a particular gender. So YouTube viewers, they represent 52% women and 48% men. And it reaches about 90% of users in the age range of 25 to 54. And that's where most of our customer demographic fall. So a few more stats here, but I will quickly skip through these, but these will be available for you guys when the presentation is shared. So let's discuss why does this matter for your business. YouTube views increasing, people spending more time on YouTube. What does this mean for your business? Let's say you are new in the market and not many people know about your business. You do not have to invest a lot of money. You could just create your YouTube channel, create a simple video highlighting your unique selling points, and let users know about you. Just remember that if your customers don't know that you exist, it's unlikely that they would consider or choose you. YouTube will also give you an opportunity to engage with the customers. You could use it as a tool to interact and get feedback from them and make changes accordingly. And it also has an analytics tool called YouTube Analytics, which will give you more insights about your audience. And all this that we are talking about or we spoke about is not ads. You could just create your own channel, add videos, and let the audience engage with your business. So now we will talk about ads. So how do we reach our customers on YouTube through ads? So masthead, I'm sure you may have seen this when you go to YouTube homepage. If you just open your YouTube app, or if you go to youtube.com today, you will see that there is a huge banner for KFC, some Hawaiian burger. So this banner ad is booked based on reservation, and you will keep seeing the KFC banner ad throughout the day. And we suggest this format only when our clients need a prominent placement and massive reach. So just imagine you have your ad, you have your deal on YouTube homepage throughout the day. There are millions of people visiting YouTube, and that banner ad is grabbing the eyeballs. So it increases traffic to your website. It encourages users to search about what your deal was in the banner. So let's say if you need massive reach, then in that case, masthead is the option that you could go for. But my favorite format is the TrueView ad format. Sometimes I know it can get annoying as well, and I'm sure you are aware of this. You are on YouTube and you want to watch your favorite video, but then there's another video which plays before that. Those are the skippable TrueView ads. And users, they have the option to skip the ad after 5 seconds if they are not interested, and you wouldn't be charged for that. So it's a cost per view model. So let's say if a user watches for 30 seconds, if a user watches a video for 30 seconds or the entire video, if it is less than 30 seconds, you would be charged. So I feel this is a very efficient format if you have to reach a large audience. It's efficient in terms of reach as well as cost. From my experience, I've seen average cost per view range from just about 8 cents to about 15 cents. So let's say if we do not have enough budget to do masthead, but we still want to put across a message to the audience about your business or about your deals, then in that case, I would recommend going for TrueView ads, because you are at the end of the day giving the users the option to choose you. But what about when, let's say, your audience is in a discovery mode? They go to youtube.com and they would want to search for some content, maybe, okay, travel tips or testimonials. So you also have the option to show your ads there. So as you can see on the screen, so if you are on youtube.com and do any search, you can have the thumbnail of your video along with some text. You could also appear as a related video, and if there is no masthead, which generally doesn't happen often, then in that case your ad could appear there as well. So it allows you to capture your target audience, so and influence them when they're actually searching for or browsing content which is related to your business. So if, just to do a quick recap, if your business goal is to generate awareness and reach more audience to spread a message across to a large audience set, then in that case, YouTube is the platform that I would go for. So let me quickly discuss about a few other resources as well. So as I mentioned earlier, whatever we have discussed is just a brief overview. There's a lot more. Let's say if we talk about display, there are a lot more other different ways of targeting. There are a lot more formats in the search ads as well, in Gmail ads as well, so which may not be possible to cover in this section. So I would request you to check this resource, which is AdWords Help Center. Even as an AM, I refer this source all the time. So any question you have, let's say, what is AdWords? Why is my ad disapproved? What are YouTube ads? How do I create YouTube ads? If you have any of these questions, then you will find all the answers here. The next resource is a Digital Garage, which has recently been launched. It's a free course from Google to become a digital expert. So anything from search to social media, if you need any information, you could go to Digital Garage. It tailors your session according to your need. And at the end, you get a certification as well. So just to do a quick recap, so what we covered today is where Google Ads show. We saw that it doesn't show only on google.com. It shows on partner sites. It shows on Display Network. It shows on YouTube as well. And we discussed different platforms, and we tried to link them with your business goals as well. So if you imagine the consumer funnel again, where you have awareness at the top, consideration, purchase, and loyalty at the bottom, search and remarketing ads, they are very direct response focused. So let's say if you would want to get bookings, ticket sales, then in that case, and you are limited by budget, then I would go for search and remarketing. But let's say if you would want to influence consideration, if you would want to get more users in the consideration set, then in that case, I would go for display ads, Gmail, and YouTube ads. So that was all from my end. I hope you guys found this session useful. And like I mentioned earlier, if you have any questions or if you would like an in-depth session on any one of these topics, please feel free to share that via the feedback form or the survey form. Thank you.
Thanks, Lakshmi. That was great. We might just wait for a couple of questions to come in. And while we do that, I might just share that each of the different elements that Lakshmi has shared today, AFTA is actually engaged in to promote ATAS and the benefits of booking through an accredited agent. Yeah. So we've used search to drive traffic to the ATAS website so consumers can find an accredited agent. We've used display to help generate awareness of ATAS. We've also engaged in TrueView ads where we've showed the 15-second ATAS TVC, and we've had close to 600,000 consumers watch the ATAS TVC, which I'll disclose cost us about 8 cents an ad. So it's a really fantastic return on investment, and our engagement rate was 26%, which we've been told is above industry average. So I really encourage you to pursue online advertising through Google Display Network. And if you've got any questions, you can feel free to reach out to me directly, and we can help direct you either to an account manager within Google or another Google authorized agent. So we have a question here from Marcus. And Lakshmi, the question is, what is generally better for the user, AdWords results or organic results? Does one or the other have more credibility?
That's a good question, Marcus. As a user, when I search, I do not distinguish what is an ad or what is an organic result. I just see what is relevant. If I see what I'm looking for in the ads, then I'm more likely to click on the ads. And like we discussed earlier, the way Google auction functions, it tries to show most relevant ads at the top with the good position. So both organic and the ad results are relevant, but it entirely depends on user what they find the most relevant for that query at that point in time. Does that help?
Yeah, I definitely think that answers the question. And I think there's so much information on the website, and if you don't have your website, I guess, set up properly that it's going to appear on page 1 listing, the Google search is another way of sort of bypassing all that and making sure that your ad gets in front of consumers.
Yeah. So
there is definitely credibility, but it's also in the way I think that you set up your ad, isn't it? Yeah. To make sure that the information you put in your ad is true and actually answers the question that the consumer is looking for.
Yeah.
Would you say that?
Yeah, totally. So sometimes, let's say in the organic results, you may not first of all appear on the top results, or you may not be able to show the information that you would want to show to the user. But with the ads, you have the option to choose what message you would want to promote. So as a user, again, just to recap, both the ad results and organic results are good as long as I see the relevant information that I'm searching for.
So we have a question from Marcus here again to clarify. If you bid and successful in purchasing the keywords, and so say the bid is $5 and you get 10,000 clicks, does that actually mean that you'll be paying $50,000?
Again, that's a good question, Marcus. So yeah, that is a simple math. Let's say if you are bidding $5 and if you have 1,000 clicks, that's the amount that you need to pay, but that's not what actually happens. When you set a max CPC or a bid of $5, the system doesn't always charge you $5. So let's say you had another competitor bidding on the same keyword but had lower quality score. You just need to pay the minimum amount to outbid your competitor, the next ad which would have appeared if you had not won the auction. So let's say if your competitor was bidding $4, then in that case, based on that auction, you might have to pay only around $4.10, even though you told the system that I want to pay $5. So that's what you will see in AdWords account later, that even if you say that I want to pay $5, the average amount that you end up paying could be around $4 or $4.50, depending on what other competitors are also bidding and what their ad quality is.
And then to clarify about setting a budget, if you preset a budget for the day, does that mean it will not go over that amount that you allocate?
So yeah, ideally, yes. Let's say if I have $100 as a daily budget, the system knows that that is the limit. But sometimes what happens is that there is traffic fluctuation. If the system sees that there is a lot more traffic on, let's say, Saturday, it might just try to increase the spend by 20%. However, at the end of the billing cycle, the amount that you would pay would be the same. Google will not charge you for that extra 20%. It will level up on the other days.
Yeah, that's helpful. Because we had a question about from Rosie, particularly asking about preset budget. So Rosie, just to answer your question, you might need to call the Google helpline and just check that you have set up your budgets appropriately, because when it, like Lakshmi said, when it's set, that's the amount that you pay.
Yeah. So Rosie, just to clarify here again, let's say if you have $100 as a budget, ideally you will only pay $100. But again, if the system sees more traffic on a particular day, it might just increase spend by 20%, spend more by 20%. However, at the end of the month or the billing cycle, the total amount that you pay would still be the amount that you had suggested. So do not worry about that. And if you feel that, okay, at the end of your billing cycle, you had to pay more than what you had to set up for, then in that case, you could reach out to our help center as well.
Okay, perfect. Thanks, Rosie, and we've got your acknowledgement there. We've got a question from Keith about data analytics that you get back from Google Ads. So you might want to just talk about how that actually links up to Google Analytics.
Yeah, sure. Google Analytics, yeah, so we were planning to do a 1-hour session for this, but I think that will happen later in future. So Analytics is a very powerful tool where you have all your audience information when they visit the website. And when you link it to the AdWords account, you could use it to optimize your campaigns. So let's say some information on from the AdWords account which you wouldn't get would be around, let's say, bounce rate, or time on website, or let's say pages viewed when they landed on your website. So this is the information that you will have in your analytics account. So what I would recommend is link your AdWords account to analytics, set up goals in the analytics account. So let's say whoever comes to your website, you would want them to visit at least about 4 pages, or you would want to spend about 5 minutes on your website. It's just an example goal. And then import these goals in your AdWords account. When you do that, you will see all of this information move to your AdWords account. You have information around bounce rate and all these conversions. You will also get to see which keyword or which campaign led to that conversion, or which keyword completed that goal, or which keyword costed higher to complete that goal. And based on that, you can make those changes in the AdWords account.
Perfect, thank you. Just having a look at some other questions. Oh, okay, so Joshua has a question. He just wants to clarify whether all Google ads are created in adwords.google.com, or is there other sites that he needs to refer to?
All the ads would be created on adwords.google.com.
Perfect. Anybody that's got any specific questions, feel free to email me directly at jo, so J-O, at afta.com.au, and I can either put you in contact with Google to answer your specific questions, because there are account managers that can help you get online, or you can contact me and we might be able to put you in with a Google agent that can look after your whole online strategy, a Google approved agent I should say. We'll also be early next year running a workshop for our industry members where we will actually go into some more of the specific details. So this webinar series is a really nice taster of all the different elements that you need to consider when being online, and this workshop will delve more into the specifics if you're serious about getting online, and Google will really help hold your hand through that process. So keep an eye out for our communication. That will be either late January or early February.
And just to add to that, so we have the last series for metrics and measurements, where we spoke about all the platforms today. So in our next webinar, we'll talk about what are the different metrics which matters. We will also touch a bit on analytics, discuss a few case studies from other travel clients. So please feel free to register for the webinar series on November 23rd.
Perfect. And if you go to the AFTA website, there's actually a register now link, so you can jump on and register today and join us for that webinar. And again, any questions, please feel free to reach out to myself, Joe, or anyone in our team. All right, well that concludes today's webinar. So guys, thank you so much for joining us, and have a wonderful Christmas festive period.
Thank you, guys.